Coming down the stretch of this 2022 CCL season, and the Solano Mudcats have another big game in front of them, facing the Walnut Crawdads today on a beautiful Tuesday late afternoon ball game. My name is Jonah Krell, and you're watching here on the Mudcats streaming network. Mudcats coming off of a split of a doubleheader versus the Lincoln Potters. They needed at least one of those games, and they got them to stay close in the standings. But here comes another big-time game. With only 6 games left in the season, this is crucial, as the Walnut Creek Crawdads are ahead of the Mudcats in the standings. The Mudcats are in a little bit of a roll, and the Crawdads are in the opposite direction. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games, so this is a golden opportunity for them, with the Mudcats just a half game back of the Crawdads, who are in 3rd place in the CCL standings. On the mound for the Mudcats, it's the reliable arm out of the pen, but he's starting today. It's Chase Banks, the sophomore out of Willamette University, in the transfer portal currently, but the CCL All-Star should get picked up soon, as he's been dominant this season. Now up to the plate to start things off, it'll be Ryan Ellis for the Crawdads, the 3rd baseman. We're just all set here at Vanden High School, ready to go. Banks, first offering, loops in high for a ball. Let's give you the defensive alignment for the Mudcats. The battery mate, Banks, and Trey Topping, the catcher, both out of Willamette, so you got that Bearcat connection. Here's the 1-0. That one's skied in the infield. Right side, Chase Hildy coming in, and he'll make the catch in the grass for 1 down. And then in the infield, Noah Garcia, he's at first base. At second, it's Chase Hildy, who just made the catch. On the left side, Jaden Jones at the hot corner at 3rd base, Jared Wood at shortstop. And then in the outfield, Michael Benavides in left, Kenny DeSalle in center, and then in right, it's Jackson Bates. Now up to the plate, Tyson Corio. Corio, the senior out of Cal Poly Slow. First pitch, fastball down the pipe for a strike. Corio's putting together a good latter half of this season. He's up to a .262 average. It's 28 hits on the season. 0-1. Ground ball right into left field for a base hit. Gaping hole between Jones and Wood. That 5-6 hole for the first hit of the ball game. So Corio continues to contribute offensively, and now it's Coleman Schmidt, the center fielder, CCO All-Star. Schmidt in this latter half of the season, he's sort of gone cold in terms of stats as well. It's shrunk down his average as a throwback, not in time. At one point, Schmidt was over a 400 batting average, and now he's dipped down a little bit, 336, which is still pretty darn good, but not to the standards we were seeing earlier this year. The first pitch, taken inside, called strike by the home plate umpire Constantine Bartlett. Chase Banks in his last outing was against these Walnut Creek Crawdads not too long ago, as these teams played a little bit ago in Danville. Mudcats came up with that 4-3 win, and Banks actually got the win in relief. Here's the pitch, taken high and inside for a ball. In that appearance, Banks, 4 innings pitched, only 1 hit given up, and 1 walk, as well as 6 Ks. He was absolutely lights out. The only hit and the only run was on the first pitch he threw, the homer by Kavaris Tears. Now, Topping thought about, actually, Corio thought about going over to second base. Instead, he stays at first, and Topping just checks on him there. One-two the count here to Coleman Schmidt. And now a pickle. Corio stuck. Back and forth they go. Can he get back? He's off the bag, and Banks applies the tag. Tyson Corio was off the bag on the throwback from Chase Banks. Stuck in that pickle, almost got back. But Banks came over from the mound, and he applied the tag to retire Corio. 2 down now in the inning. Good awareness right there from Banks to keep an eye on Corio. The pitch, swing and a miss. A clean first for Chase Banks and the Mudcats. 0-0 the score. Heading to the bottom of the first on the Mudcats streaming network. Bottom of the first, here at Vanden High School. Jonah Krell on hand. 0-0 the score. Let's give you the starting lineup for your Solano Mudcats. Leading off for Solano, it's Michael Benavides, the left fielder out of Chico State. Batting second, Kenny DeSalle, the center fielder out of San Joaquin Delta. In the 3 spot, Cole Santander playing DH today. Batting cleanup, Chase Hildy, the second baseman from St. Mary's. In the 5 spot, Jared Wood, shortstop from Pacific. In the 6th hole, Noah Garcia playing first base. Up next, Jaden Jones, the third baseman from Texas Southern. Batting 8th, Trey Topping, the catcher from Willamette. And batting 9th, Jackson Bates, the right fielder from Solano College. And on the mound for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, it's Mark Perkins. Perkins, a sophomore righty out of Rice, native of Houston, Texas. He's had an okay summer for the Crawdads. Put stuff here and there. On the season, a 7.17 ERA. He's given up 39 hits and 21 earned runs with 25 strikeouts and 16 Ks. He's ready to go on the bump. Here's the first pitch. Low on a fastball to Benavides. Benavides, even though we've seen that average dip down the past month, he's had a good last couple games. Here's the pitch. Fastball way in, all the way to the backstop. Like I said, picked up the offense a little bit as of late. 4 hits, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored in his last 6 games. At one point in that stretch, had a 3-game hitting streak. Let's see if he can keep it up here today. The 2-0, swing and a miss. Fastball blown right past by Perkins. Two-one the count. Perkins fires. Fastball misses high. A good eye by Benavides. Back on Sunday, Mudcats split a doubleheader between the Lincoln Potters. Lost the second game 6-2, won the first game 4-0. Another whiff by Benavides. Nice off speed right there from Perkins. And if the Mudcats could have swept the Potters there, they would have jumped them in the standings. They would have been in second place, in position to make the playoffs as the pitch is fouled off at home plate. But instead, they could not make up any ground as they entered the day a game and a half back of second, and they finished the day a game and a half back of second. But another chance, as there's big baseball all around here in the CCL. The Lincoln Potters are playing the Healdsburg Prune Packers today, so a good chance that they could lose that game. Prune Packers so dominant this season. Another swing and a miss on a sinker by Perkins for the first out of the inning. Crawdads coming off a disappointing and just flat out unbelievable loss to the Healdsburg Prune Packers. They were in position to upset Healdsburg at home in Danville. They were up 7-2 in the 8th inning, but just an incredible collapse as the Potters put together a run and ended up winning 9-8 in the 10th inning. Here's the pitch to Kenny DeSell, chopped high in the air but foul, down the third base side. And it was really the errors and the mistakes by the Crawdads that doomed them in that heartbreaking loss to the Packers. Perkins, the pitch to DeSell, that one's a ground ball and into left field past the diving Ryan Ellis at third base for the first hit for the Mudcats. DeSell, as usual, good contact right on the screws with that base hit. Up to the plate now, it's Cole Santander, the DH from San Joaquin Delta, will be transferring over to Long Beach State this upcoming year. Santander in the doubleheader was a combined 0 for 5 versus the Potters, so he's looking to bounce back here. The pitch, swing and a miss on a breaking ball by Perkins. On the count with DeSell at first base here in the bottom of the first inning. Mark Perkins, sophomore out of Rice, delivers. Breaking ball is low. DeSell takes off and in there safely for a stolen base. That's just usual Kenny for you. It's his 19th stolen base this summer. That leads the CCL, the entire league. Pretty impressive stuff from the sophomore transferring over to Sonoma State next year. Now the pitch from Perkins. Another swing and a miss by Santander. Really getting him to chase with that breaking ball. Going fishing there. 1-2 the count. With one out. A long look in from Mark Perkins to his catcher, Zach Tajero. Now he steps off the rubber. And I should correct myself. As I said, that led the CCL with a stolen base. That actually ties the league leading Ryan Ellis, who's on the Walnut Creek Crawdads. He also has 19. So competition between the best speed in the CCL as that one slapped up the middle but fielded and the throw to first in time to retire Santander. Cameron Calvillo, playing in his second game for the Crawdads. He's over there at shortstop. He makes the fielding job. And over to Brian DeRoff. 2 down now in the inning, and DeSell advances to third base. Now up it's Chase Hildy. Hildy's been swinging that bat pretty well as of late. First pitch, taken low in the dirt. Hildy, the redshirt freshman out of St. Mary's, was 2 for 5 combined in the doubleheader versus the Potters on Sunday. 2 for 5 with a double, a single, and a run scored. He's got a 4-game hitting streak as well. 1-0, taken low and inside. This is a good sight for Hildy as he missed the entire freshman season at St. Mary's with a knee injury. 2-0. Another one inside. Letter high right there. Came to the Mudcats a little bit late in the season. His first time playing in 6 months, Hildy that is, with that knee injury. And he's shown the ability to deliver at the plate with some pop as well. The pitch, right down the middle. Get me over fastball from Perkins. He's third on the team with 4 doubles this season. One against the Potters on Sunday. The pitch, swing and a miss. That time he got him with a breaking ball. Two the count with 2 outs and DeSalle at third base. See if the Mudcats can strike first here. When they do, it's usually good success for the rest of the game. The pitch, grounded foul, just off, looks like the foot of Hildy. Barely got a piece of that breaking ball. Wind howling here at Vanden High School behind us, flapping our tarp above us. But clear skies, 88 degrees and sunny here. 2-2. Loops outside, a good eye. Actually, that was the 4th ball of the at-bat. So Hildy reaches with a 2-out walk. Now up to the plate, it's Jared Wood, the shortstop out of Pacific, with a chance here and runners at the corners. Talking to acting head coach Jared Carr before the ball game here today, he said when the Mudcats can score first, it's great signs for the rest of the game. Let's see if they can do it here, as that one loops inside for a strike. Gives them that positive energy. Baseball is really a lot more about energy than you really think. A lot about momentum and life in that dugout. Let's see if Wood can do something here. The pitch. Grounded, but fielded by Calvillo, and a little toss over to Corio covering second to end the bottom of the first. Nice little slicing action by Wood there, but Calvillo is right there to scoop it up and make the play. So the 6-4 putout ends the inning. Mudcats leave 2 runners stranded, no run score, off of 1 hit and no errors. And we'll head to the top of the second. Still 0-0 the score on the Mudcats streaming network. Welcome back here at Vanden High School. Jonah Krell on hand with the score 0-0 here in the top of the second. Up to the plate now for the Crawdads, it's Kavaris Tears, the DH out of Tennessee. Banks, a clean first, gave up a single but then picked off the runner. That was Tyson Corio. First pitch, a fastball, low in the zone, called strike. Banks, one of the pitchers just with a stoic demeanor, calm presence, doesn't really talk much as that one's fouled back to the backstop. And just stays locked in at all points in the game. Doesn't really shows a ton of emotion, just goes out there and deals. He's 4th in the entire CCL in ERA. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Tears down swinging for the first out of the inning. And on that ERA, that's a 1.71 ERA. Like I said, 4th in the entire CCL. Against the Crawdads in his last appearance, only gave up 1 hit. That was the homer by Kavaris Tears, who just struck out. And that was on the first pitch he threw. Other than that, it was just incredible stuff. The first pitch to Brian Duroff loops in just low, below the knees. Got a great 12-6 curveball. Banks does. The 1-0, fastball inside, once again low. So a rare 2-0 count to start off. Usually Chase Banks is great at getting ahead with a first pitch strike. Leads the team with a 76.9% first pitch strikes percentage. But he gets one there right down the middle. 2 on the count with 1 out. Here in the top of the second. Banks from the windup fires. Fastball tails inside, almost hits Duroff, the first baseman. Now 3-1. Banks fires, breaking ball, inside edge for the strike. Full count now. Duroff on the season, one of the team's better hitters, a .315 average with 41 hits, 21 RBIs. Also gets on base a good amount with 18 walks. The pitch. That one slapped over to Wood at short. Fielded. Now the throw to Garcia in time. 2 down now in the inning.
Next up, number 11, Ryan.
Another routine play for the Mudcats to make. That's just what happens when Banks is on the mound. Doesn't really do anything too crazy, but just gets a lot of easy plays for his defense to make. Now Ryan Brome, the left fielder, up to the plate. The pitch. Breaking ball just on the outer edge. Brome, the team's best hitter. A .380 average with 41 hits, 11 doubles, and 32 RBIs. He made the CCL Showcase game last Wednesday. The pitch. Fastball. Knee-high called strike by Constantine Bartlett. A generous call. And a nice frame by Trey Topping. Oh, 0-2 pitch. That one's a ground ball. One hopped to Hildy, who fields it in the glove, and over to Garcia. A 1-2-3 frame. Business as usual for Chase Banks. No runners reach. No one left. Still 0-0 the score. Heading to the bottom of the second on the Mudcats streaming network. Welcome back here, bottom of the second at Vanden High School. My name is Jonah Crow. Still 0-0 the score. Mudcats with one hit. Crawdads with one hit. Heading to the bottom of the second. Mark Perkins on the bump in his second inning of work for the Crawdads. He'll face Noah Garcia to lead off. Garcia, the sophomore out of Willamette University, a native of Danville, will be transferring over to Laverne College next season. Takes a first pitch fastball right down the middle. Garcia in that doubleheader versus Lincoln went 1 for 6 with a single and 2 RBIs. That one sails outside for a ball. He's had a good bat as of late. Has a hit in 6 of the last 8 games, with 2 of those being multi-hit games. The pitch. Another breaking ball misses outside. 5 RBIs as well, driving in some runners and coming up clutch in scenarios. He swings right through that pitch. Two the count here to Garcia, the first man up. That one's chopped. Third base and foul. And a nice play by Jared Carr over there at third base. He's a little cut off on your screen there on the third base side. But Carr, he is the acting manager for today. It's the first time he's been the acting manager since up in Humboldt for that Independence Day series. Fastball just misses on the outer edge by Perkins. And so head coach Ryan Adams, he's with a family matter. Nothing wrong. He's just having a personal reasons day. And that fastball just catches the inside edge. Garcia cannot believe it. But he's put out looking for the first out of the inning. Now Jaden Jones, the third baseman from Texas Southern, up to the plate. Like I was saying, Ryan Adams not with the team today. Also Jeff Matlock, usually the first base coach, he's not with the team today as well, as that one's chopped high in the air right back up to Perkins. He squeezes it in the glove. The throw over to first, barely in time to retire Jones on the first pitch. A real high chopper right at home plate, but it was fair off the bat of Jaden Jones. So quickly, 2 down in the inning for Mark Perkins and the Crawdads. And now Trey Topping up to the plate. The first pitch, high chopper, fielded, and it pops out of the glove of Corio. The throw over to first, still in time. An interesting, awkward hop to Tyson Corio at second base, but Trey Topping doesn't have a ton of speed, the catcher, and he is put out with still a good amount of time Corio had to make there. And so a 1-2-3 frame, quick work by Mark Perkins here, and it's still 0-0 the score, heading to the top of the third. It's been a good start to the game for both pitchers playing today. Mark Perkins for the Crawdads and Chase Banks for the Mudcats. So far in this ball game, only 2 hits, 1 apiece from both squads here in this top of the third. And now up to the plate, it's Joey Donnelly, the right fielder, in his first at-bat. Donnelly this season just batting .200. The first pitch lined and almost scooped by Garcia. He stays with it, but the throw to Banks way over his head. Trey Topping is right there behind him to scoop it up. But Garcia, the errant throw, and Donnelly reaches on the E3. Even with the bobble by Garcia, the play was still there to make. Garcia just rushed it. He could have even tossed it to Chase Banks, who was right there, but decided to go overhand with a throw, and Banks couldn't make the play. Throws back over to first, and Donnelly is back there in time. Now up to the plate, it's Cameron Calvillo, the shortstop. The first pitch, breaking ball misses low. Calvillo, playing in only his second game for the Crawdads. He was just signed to the team right before the deadline to pick up new players. The sophomore out of Ohlone College. The pitch, just chopped away foul by Calvillo. Played in his first game in that matchup with the Prune Packers on Sunday. Went 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Banks comes set. The 0-1. Change up in there for a strike on the high inside corner. In his freshman season, Calvillo had a good year at Ohlone College, a .309 average with 17 hits and 9 RBIs. Banks another pickoff move, but Donnelly is back in time. Oh, to the count. Donnelly thinks about going over to second, but stays put, with Topping jumping up. Pitch from Banks went high on a fastball, so it's 1-2 the count here. With nobody out. Pitcher's duel we have in our hands here today. The pitch swung on, fly ball left field, but that'll get out of play foul. And actually a foul home run, as that one got over the wall in left field, but just a little bit foul off to the left. Good contact right there by Calvillo. He just missed on it. Still 1-2 the count here with nobody out. Banks now fires. Swing and a miss. That's the third K by Banks here. One down here in the top of the third. Up to the plate, Zach Tajero. The catcher, undecided where he'll be next season. Native of Foster City, California. Steps in. No gloves. Grips that bat barehanded. Vladimir Guerrero Sr. style. The pitch. Fastball misses high. (1-0) with 1 out and a man at first. Here in the top of the third. Banks comes set from the stretch. Another pickoff move. Now Donnelly's caught in a pickle. And a little back and forth. Wood now with the ball. He tosses to Garcia, and he loses it. It's grounded over to Hildy, and Donnelly will get over to second base. Unreal. Sloppy play by the Mudcats there on a pickle. Jared Wood had the ball. He tossed over to Noah Garcia, but Garcia lost the ball in his glove. It rolled to second base, and no one picked it up in time. So Donnelly in there at second base. They had him right there, and then they didn't. Banks the pitch. Fastball inside edge, called strike to Jarrow. Man at second with one out. Donnelly credited with the stolen base right there, somehow. Banks, couple looks, the 1-0. Ground ball, right side, but foul. One, two the count here. Banks this season, even with runners on and runners in scoring position, doesn't faze him one bit. You can see that by that 1.71 ERA. Doesn't matter what the situations are, as that one's a ground ball into left field for a base hit. Benavides will throw in, but Donnelly is held up immediately at third base. The third base coach over there didn't even give him a chance. Immediately held him up. So it's first and third now after the single from Zach to Jarrow.
Number 2, Ryan Ellis.
Just one out here. Double play is in play for the Mudcats. And Ryan Ellis, the leadoff man, up to the plate. Ellis popped up to second base his first time up. Let's see if Banks can get out of the jam here. The first pitch. Ellis swung out of his shoes right there on a breaking ball low in the dirt. He spun around. Beautiful curve for the first strike. The pitch. Fastball on the high outside corner. Another strike to get ahead. 0-2 the count. Here in this top of the third, a chance for the Crawdads to get on board. Banks another throwback to first. Garcia that time makes a clean play. Ellis, a dangerous hitter. Can he do something here? No chance.
Here you go, Chase.
Banks, fastball blown right past Ellis. 2 down in the inning. That's now the 4th K of this ball game for Chase Banks. Efficient work of Ellis, and it brings up now Tyson Corio. Corio singled back in the first, but was then picked off. He was also in a pickle. That time, Mudcats executed well.
Take the play for him.
Corio batting .262 on the season with 28 hits, 17 RBIs. The first pitch, fastball in their first strike, low inside corner. Banks today painting that edge of the zone well and topping as well. Doing a good job of framing these pitches. First and third, 2 outs. The pitch slapped into center field and down for a base hit. Donnelly scores, and to Jarrow, he's at second. An RBI single by Tyson Corio. And so the Crawdads do come up big with that big hit, and they get the first run on the board here. It's 1-0 Crawdads in the top of the third. Just a good slapper by Corio, his second hit of this ball game, and it brings up Coleman Schmidt now up to the plate. Another dangerous hitter. See if Banks can calm down now. With first and second. That one's low on a fastball, but it's scooped up by Trey Topping. 1-0 the count here to Schmidt, who struck out swinging to end the first. Banks comes set. Heaves. Breaking ball. Inside. Called strike. Another curve with a beauty of some movement right there. Completely freezes Schmidt up. 1-1 the count. Banks the pitch. Slight chopper, first base side. Garcia fields it, the scoop to Banks. He steps on the bag in time. Garcia makes up for the earlier blunder with a scoop and toss to Banks to end the top of the third. But the Crawdads do get a run home for the first run of this ball game. An RBI single by Tyson Corio scores Joey Donnelly. It's 1-0, heading to the bottom of the third on the Mudcats streaming network. Welcome back here at Vanden High School, where the Crawdads lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. Crawdads got on the board first with an RBI single from Tyson Corio, his second hit of the ball game. So let's see if the Mudcats can bounce back offensively and finally get something on the board against Mark Perkins, who fires in a first pitch strike to Jackson Bates. Perkins has only allowed one hit so far through 2 innings. Swing and a miss from Bates. Quickly 0-2. Perkins, the pitch. Called strike 3. 3 strikes on 3 pitches to retire Jackson Bates. That's now the 38th strikeout by the sophomore out of Solano College. That leads the team. His struggles continue. 1 down in the inning, and now Michael Benavides. Can he get something going here? Perkins' first offering, and it hits him on the elbow. So Benavides reaches. He's pretty used to getting hit by a pitch. That's his 8th hit by a pitch this summer. That leads the team. The next best is Hunter Baldwin with 4. And so he continues to get dinged up, but it doesn't matter. He gets on base for Kenny DeSell, who has the lone hit in this ballgame for the Mudcats. The first real mistake we've seen from Perkins as a throwback, not in time. DeSell this summer batting .273, leads the team with 36 hits. Here's the first pitch. Fastball down the middle for a strike. 36 hits, also the team leader with 23 RBIs, and has 12 walks to his name. Another solid season for DeSell, who just keeps on hitting. Good contact Another pickoff move, not in time. Back in the first, a single and a stolen base to tie Ryan Ellis, who's in the opposite dugout. A battle between the two for the CCL lead in stolen bases. That one's poked off the bat in center field and down for a base hit. DeSalle reaches out. Another situation where he's just making good contact, finds a way to get on base. Perhaps that wasn't the best pitch to swing at, but he finds a way off the end of the bat to get on base. He's 2 for 2 today. So now a good opportunity for the Mudcats with first and second and 1 out here in the inning. Cole Santander up to the plate. Santander, the second on the team with 33 hits this summer, the CCO All-Star. That one's grounded into left field for a base hit. Brome fields it, but Benavides is held up by Jared Carr. That one, arguable whether or not he should have been sent home, as that one, just an easy ground ball in shallow left field. Ryan Brome was there, he fielded it, and it would have been a close play at home plate. But Jared Carr, the safe bet over there, the third base coach and acting head coach today, to hold up Benavides. We'll see if that proves costly or successful, with Hildy now up to the plate. Hildy walked back in the first. Bases loaded with 1 out. The pitch fouled back on the first pitch from Perkins. A juicy opportunity to get some runs home here in this bottom of the third. Santander ends a little bit of a cold spell as he was 0 for 5 in the doubleheader versus Lincoln. That single into left makes it bases loaded. Hildy lines it right to Calvillo and tried to retire DeSalle, but DeSalle is just back in time on the slide. Almost an inning-ending double play. That one a laser off the bat of Chase Hildy. A nice catch by Calvillo. Heads up to try to get DeSalle out, but DeSalle barely back in time on the slide.
Shortstop, Jared Wood.
So even with the line out, it's still bases loaded, and Jared Wood is up to the plate. Conversation with middle umpire Brian Rose and head coach and general manager Brant Cummings for the Crawdads. Just wants confirmation on what he saw over there at second base, but DeSalle is back in time as Cummings jogs back to the dugout. And now Jared Wood, still a chance for the Mudcats to do something here. Bases loaded. Wood is 0 for 1. The pitch. Swung on, chopper, third base, but foul. Good contact on the first pitch he saw. Mudcats being aggressive here as Hildy also swung on the first pitch from Perkins. Back in game 2 of the doubleheader versus Lincoln, Wood ended the no-hit possibility, but they still lost 6-2. The pitch, swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. Nice pitch by Perkins to fool Wood there. So now he's seen the fastball, he's seen the breaking ball. What will Perkins go with here on a big pitch? The 0-2 in the dirt as Wood holds up. That time he saw it correctly, a good eye, to make it 1-2. Wood on the summer, quietly 5th on the team with 22 hits. The pitch, chopper, ground ball, first base side, the toss to Perkins, and steps on the bag to end the bottom of the third. Mudcats, a golden opportunity right there. Bases loaded, they had 1 out, but they couldn't come up with a big hit. As Wood grounds out to first. The 3-1 put out. Strands 3. And it's still 1-0 Walnut Creek, heading to the top of the fourth on the Mudcats streaming network.
Lead things off for the Crawdads, the designated hitter.
Welcome back here at Vanden High School, top of the fourth, with the Crawdads leading 1-0 in a low-scoring pitching affair. Kovaris Tears up to the plate. Banks the first pitch. Fastball swung on high in the air in center field, fairly deep, and DeSalle is there to make the catch. One down on the first pitch, and good energy by the Mudcats dugout on the fly ball. They're screaming their heads off in the dugout. And that's what they have to do, even despite being down a run. They have to continue to bring that positivity, bring that energy, and not get their spirits down. Brian Duroff, now the batter. First pitch he swings at, fouled back into the backstop.
First baseman number 18, Brian Duroff.
Thankfully, our camera is okay there. The first time in this season, our camera got knocked down back in that doubleheader against Lincoln, but we survived. So did the camera. The pitch, breaking ball, loops just outside. Duroff is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short his first time up. Banks fires, spiked in the dirt in front of home plate. Ball 2. Really not keen to throwing wild pitches or spiking balls. He only has 3 wild pitches this summer, which is a ridiculous stat right there to show you his command. 3 wild pitches and only 1 hit by pitch as well. The pitch in there for a strike, a fastball on the low corner. One, two, the count to Brian Duroff. The pitch just fouled off. Spoiled a good outside off-speed pitch by Banks right there. One and two still, with 1 out. Banks. That one's flied in shallow right and foul ground. Garcia, can he make the catch? No, he can't. I was off to the right. Couldn't see it from where we're stationed here at the backstop. But Garcia couldn't make the catch as he was sprinting over to the wall on the right side. So just a foul ball. Duroff having a good summer, .315 with 2 homers, 21 RBIs, and 41 hits. Banks a long look. Now he fires. Fastball just popped out of the glove of Topping right there. That likely would have been a a strike 3. Had Topping held on, but he didn't. Two the count. Long at bat here. That one's a chopper over to Wood at short, and he can't scoop it up on the hop. Tough play to make right there on the run for the sophomore shortstop. And Duroff works a good at bat. That was the 7th pitch, and he gets on base. That'll go down as an error by Jared Wood, E6, for Duroff to reach. Just couldn't scoop it up on the hop. Seeing some sloppy play here early in this ball game by the Mudcats. Now Ryan Brome up to the plate. He's 0 for 1.
Number 11, Ryan Brome.
Brome, the sophomore out of Texas Tech, a native of Katy, Texas. Had a good last game for the Crawdads as he chops one into right field for a base hit. First and second now on the easy roller. Right in that 4-3 hole. Hildy and Garcia weren't anywhere near it. So it's now 2 on with 1 out in the inning. Crawdads, once again, finding ways to get on base and engineering scoring opportunities with Joey Donnelly up to the plate. Donnelly scored the lone run of this ball game. First pitch in the dirt, but blocked by Topping. Donnelly reached on an error by Noah Garcia, and so it was an unearned run. Doesn't go against Chase Banks here. He comes set. 1-0 delivery. Fly ball, left field, slicing down the line, but that'll be foul. It was fair off the bat, but it just kept tailing away in the wind here at Vanden in foul territory. One the count with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Another scenario where they're working long innings against Chase Banks, making him work for it. The 1-1 misses high on a changeup. Today in this ball game, Banks still has shown great command, even though a couple balls in the dirt. 36 strikes to 12 balls. He's done that all season long. Good strike to ball ratio. The 2-1, that's flied into shallow right field. Jackson Bates coming in, but it will be caught by the second baseman, Chase Hildy. And it keeps the runners at their bases. That was the best scenario Mudcats could hope for right there. Best case scenario, and it brings up Cameron Calvillo now. Recently joined the team, still looking for his first hit here as a Crawdad. 2 on with 2 outs. Pitch, and he went around. Nice sinker from Banks in the dirt. And Calvillo couldn't hold up. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging back in the 3rd. Banks, the 0-1 on the way. Swung on, a high fly ball out in left field. Benavides is under it, and he makes the catch in the sun to end the top of the 4th. So another lengthy inning for Chase Banks and the Mudcats, but he leaves 2 stranded off of 1 hit and the Crawdads can't score. It's still 1-0 Walnut Creek, heading to the bottom of the fourth on the Mudcats streaming network. Welcome back here on the Mudcats streaming network with the Walnut Creek Crawdads still leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Noah Garcia, the sophomore first baseman, now up to the plate. Perkins, the pitch, just outside for a ball. In the last inning, when the Mudcats were up, they had a great chance with bases loaded and one out, but they couldn't get any runs across as that one sinks in low. There was a single by Cole Santander, and Jared Carr held up Benavides at third. Questionable call as the pitch sails in just high for a ball. And I mentioned, is that going to prove as the right move or the costly move? And it ended up being the costly move. No runners came home to score. Fastball low in the dirt, and Garcia on with a leadoff walk. So let's see if they can do something here and make up for the wasted scoring opportunity back in that third. With Garcia on with a walk, and now Jaden Jones up to the plate. Here's Perkins' first offering. Fastball in there for a strike, high in the zone. Jones today is 0 for 1. His first time up, grounded right back up to Perkins, a high chopper, and he was able to field it. Throw back over. Garcia slides back in time. Just 48 pitches so far for Perkins in this ball game. He's been efficient. That one's foul ball, fly ball, and Brome trying to find it in the sun, and he does. Took a moment right there for him to find it as he was holding up his glove, shading himself. But he retires Jaden Jones on the fly ball. So one down, and now Trey Topping up to the plate. Topping is 0 for 1 today. He's in a little bit of a cold spell offensively. Going to get out of it here. Another throwback to first by Perkins. Mentioned that slump. He's 3 for 16 in his last 7 games. Can he get out of it here? Off speed is low. That batting average dipped down from 281 to now 260 coming into this ball game. Now the pitch, fastball high above the shoulders of Topping. Back in Game 2 against the Lincoln Potters, he went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, and he was eventually pinch hit in the last frame. That's not something we usually see, Topping getting pitch hit, as that one's in there for a strike on the inside edge. Usually Topping has been a go-to guy as a pinch hitter, but it was a role reversal back in that game. Another pickoff move, and not in time, keeping a close eye on Garcia. And so late in this season, a must-win for this Mudcats team. Topping needs to get going. He looks at a ball low near the feet. Got away for a moment from Tajero, but he picks it up. It's now a 2-1 count here to Topping with 1 out. Perkins, he's been solid so far. Can they touch him up here? The pitch jammed off the bat, grounded over to Calvillo, bobbled for a moment. Now the throw off the bag, but the tag is made by Brian Duroff. Not the cleanest throw by Cameron Calvillo, but it doesn't matter, as Duroff is right there to tag out Topping. 2 down now in the inning, and Garcia advances to second base. It's just been a quiet, interesting day for the Mudcats offensively. Have not been able to put it together and get that run across. Now Jackson Bates, the batter. The first pitch taken for a strike on the outer edge. Banks is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. Strikeout swinging. Needs to break out of that slump at some point here. And now Garcia, caught in a pickle, trying to advance the third, the slide, and he got him. Garcia thought he was safe over there, stuck in the pickle. Not really a pickle, as he was already between the bases. He had to go over to third base, had to make that slide, and Ryan Ellis applies the tag to retire Garcia. Jared Carr still talking with the umpire, but for the moment nothing's happening. A disappointing way to end this bottom of the fourth, as they had a runner in scoring position and Garcia was off the base pass. He was not ready to go as Perkins looked back over. Nice awareness by Perkins to see that Garcia was way off second base, and that ends the inning as Carr slowly walks back to the dugout. And so no runners left on base off of no hits. Crawdads still leading 1-0, heading to the top of the fifth on the Mudcat streaming network. Welcome back here at Vanden High School. Jonah Krell on hand, with the Crawdads still leading 1-0 here in the top of the fifth. Chase Banks facing Zach Tajero. He sees that ball go past him for a strike. The 0-1 sliced high in the air, third base side. Jones drifting in foul ground, and he makes the catch. A nice job to locate that ball in the wind for the first out here in the top of the 5th.
Next up with one out, the third baseman, number 2, Ryan Ellis.
Now Ryan Ellis, third baseman, up to the plate. Banks the first offering, fastball high and away. Ellis is 0 for 2 today. A pop up to second base and a strikeout swinging. Now the 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Nibbles on the outside half. Banks so far in this ball game, 4 hits with 1 run coming home. That wasn't an earned run. No walks and 4 Ks. Another good day at the office for him. Now the pitch. Lined into right field, and that'll get down for a base hit in front of Jackson Bates. And Ryan Ellis, second best average on the team. Good contact on the bat. 1 on with 1 out. And now Tyson Corio up to the plate. Corio having a good day here today. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI single back in the 3rd. Banks comes set. Throw back over to first. Did he get him? No, he didn't. Says first base umpire Brian Rose. So far in this ball game, Banks has allowed a hit in 4 out of the 5 innings so far in this ball game. Not his best stuff, but he's been able to get out of some jams, as that breaking ball just misses low, knee high to Corio. Banks dangles that arm, looks in for the sign from Topping. He fires. Breaking ball just outside. Banks doesn't like that one. Thought he got the edge. Doesn't show a ton of emotion out there on the mound. Just does his job. 2-1. Low for a ball. Banks, another pickoff move. Garcia almost got him, as Ellis is back in time barely. Chase Banks really keeping a close eye on Ryan Ellis, who's got speed. And now another pickoff move, and Ellis is barely back in time once more. And why wouldn't you be aware of Ryan Ellis? He's tied for the league leading 19 stolen bases with Kenny DeSell. The pitch misses high, and Ellis takes off, and that's number 20. So he entered this game leading the CCL in stolen bases, then DeSell tied him, but Ellis says, "I'll take it right back."
Next up,
And so he's in scoring position, and that was a ball forward to Tyson Corio. So another situation with 2 runners on, a runner in scoring position for the Crawdads. Banks, like I was saying earlier, it's not his best stuff that we've seen from the CCL All-Star, but it's still been pretty good. We have high standards for him at this point in the season, considering how good he's pitched. He'll now face Coleman Schmidt, who's 0 for 2 today. Ellis is way off the bag. Now the pitch, ground ball to Wood, who scoops it. Hildy to 1, to Garcia for 2. 2 on, no problem. for Chase Banks. He gets the crowd fired up with the 6-4-3 double play. Mudcats have been a little careless with the baseball here today with 2 errors, but that time it's clean baseball to end the top of the 5th. Mudcats still trailing 1-0, heading to the bottom half. Welcome back here on the Mudcats streaming network. My name is Jonah Krell. Where the Walnut Creek Crawdads lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. A crucial game late in the season. And the Mudcats need to get going offensively here against Mark Perkins. It'll be Jackson Bates to start things off. The first pitch sinks in low. Bates is 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. The pitch golfs that one and misses in the dirt. Perkins today, stellar through 4. Only 3 hits so far. Is that one in there for a strike on the inner half? 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts for the sophomore out of Rice. 1-2, lays off as that pitch just off the outside and low corner. Banks, we know his struggles this season, earlier added to his team leading 38 strikeouts. Has to do something at the plate eventually. He lays off right there. In the doubleheader versus Lincoln, he did contribute with a walk and a run scored. Just getting on base in any way possible. The 2-2 swung right through it. And Perkins, a nice job right there with a fastball. He's been able to locate the ball well today with 38 strikes to 22 balls. And that's now the 4th K of this ball game. Now Michael Benavides. First offering in the dirt on a ball. Benavides is 0 for 1. Last time up, hit by a pitch, but was held up once he got over to third base on a single by Cole Santander. It was bases loaded in that 3rd inning, but they couldn't get anything out of it as the fastball sails in for a strike. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Benavides went fishing right there. Talking to Crawdads play-by-play announcer Austin Oda before the game, he mentioned that Perkins has a great sinker and he showed it right there. That fastball just misses outside. Benavides, I mentioned when he got hit by a pitch in that 3rd inning, leads the team now with 8 hit-by-pitches. I don't know if that's a category you want to lead in, but it's still something. Breaking ball in on the hands, called strike 3. Nothing Benavides can do there. He just holds his hands up, smiles off in frustration. Couldn't believe that one. That's the second strikeout of this inning, and now Perkins is up to 5. DeSalle, practically the only guy in the lineup today that has been able to get anything past Perkins. Let's see if he can do something once more. The first pitch, swung on, liner, but foul, third base side. So far in this game, he's made good contact, finds a way to get on base. That time, just left of that third base bag. 2 for 2 with 2 singles here today. The pitch, looks at one for a strike on the outer half. DeSalle will be transferring over to Sonoma State next season after a year with San Joaquin Delta. The pitch, swung on high in the air and foul ground. Tajero coming over near the Crawdads dugout, and he can't make the catch. Try to locate that ball in the Fairfield sky, and it couldn't scoop it up. So DeSalle stays alive. After that one, really should have been caught by Tajero. As I was saying, transferring over to Sonoma State, he just told me off to the side one day, didn't really announce it on social media, didn't really say anything publicly. He's just not that kind of guy. All business is DeSalle. The 0-2 in the dirt as Tajero can't hold on. 1-2 the count here. With 2 outs in the inning, Perkins trying to strike out the side. It's been a dominant first half of this ball game for him. That one's just poked off the bat and down for a base hit in shallow right field. DeSalle, similar to his last single, and he does it again.
Next up, for those Mudcats,
just finding a way, carrying this team offensively, is Kenny DeSalle here. He's got 3 of the 4 hits in this ball game for Solano. The only other hit coming from Cole Santander, who's now in the box. Can they get some 2-out lightning going here? Santander calls time at home plate. DeSalle coming into this ball game 273, but that'll get boosted up. A solid 3 for 3 day for him, but they got to make it count here with Santander. Pickoff move, not in time by Perkins. He's been calm under pressure. Got out of a bases loaded jam. He's got one runner on here. It gets away from Tajero, who slides in the grass, slips on a banana peel, and DeSalle is on its second on the wild pitch. Tajero arguably could have had a chance there if he scooped it up cleanly, but he slipped as he was fielding that ball in his glove. So now a runner in scoring position for Santander, who has that power on his bat. They just need one big hit. The Crawdads leading 1-0 here. Perkins fires, low in the dirt. Tajero locates it that time, and DeSalle stays put at second. Almost another wild pitch by Perkins. That breaking ball has worked well today. That time Santander laid off. Two outs with a runner at second base. Santander up to the plate, needing to do something here. 2-0. Breaking ball in the dirt as Santander once again lays off. This season, shown the ability to lay off good pitches and stay poised at the plate. He's got 13 walks on the season. That's good for third on the team. 3-0 count now. Santander once again calls time. They're just trying to keep the line moving here and get something going. Crawdads have struck first in this ball game, but the Mudcats have maintained still some energy. That one's fouled off, and Donnelly will not get there in time. That'll get out of play on the right side. So I guess Santander had the green light. It's now 3-1 the count. Perkins comes set after a look in. Fires. Ground ball into left field. Base hit. DeSalle. He'll get waved home. The throw in from Brome is in time. Ryan Brome. What a throw. DeSalle has that speed to him. It was the right call with his speed, but a perfect throw in from Ryan Brome, the left fielder. Just perfect execution by the Walnut Creek Crawdads. A chance for Solano right there, but Brome says no, sir. And the Crawdads hold on to their lead. They still lead it 1-0, heading to the top of the sixth on the Mudcat streaming network. If you're just joining us, you missed an exciting, wild end to the bottom of the fifth as Kenny DeSalle was put out and thrown out at home plate to keep it a 1-0 ball game as Chase Banks fires one in for a strike to Kavara's Tears. Mudcats had a chance right there to tie things up, but a perfect throw in from Ryan Brome from left field for Walnut Creek to keep their lead as Tears goes fishing there. 0-2 the count. Banks heaves, sliced left side, foul. Good pop of the bat by Tears right there, who's 0 for 2, a strikeout, and a fly out to center field. The pitch in the dirt on a sinker, a good layoff by Tears right there. On the season, he's batting .252 with 4 homers, 23 RBIs. Just a good build to him athletically. Here's the pitch. just poked off the bat foul. Barely gets a piece of it right there. A valued prospect, a native of Lewisburg, Tennessee. He was the number 15 ranked player in Tennessee coming out of high school, and just didn't see any time last year with the stacked roster they had, as he grounds one to Garcia, who scoops it up and steps on the bag himself for out number 1.
Next up, we got the first.
So Tiers stays hitless, brings up Brian DeRoff now, who's 0 for 1, but he reached back in the 4th on an E6 by Jared Wood. A chopped ground ball that he just couldn't field on the hop. The first offering, breaking ball, in their first strike on the outer half. Banks a good pitch count here today. He's up to 68 pitches through 6. The pitch, fastball, fouled off. To once more get ahead in the count 0-2. He's got 50 strikes to 19 balls here today. Another day where he's got command and just good stuff at the plate, finding the zone. Something we've seen all season. The 0-2 spiked in the dirt, but Topping is there to block it. Like I was saying, with that command, he's got a 2.43 strike to ball ratio. That leads the team and is high up in the CCL standings overall, CCL stats overall. So it just shows you his poise and his command of the zone. I'm surprised that he hasn't gotten picked up by a team. He's still in the transfer portal after a season with Willamette. Fires one in there, strike 3. Knee high, and DeRoff just stares and watches it.
Next up, the left fielder, number 11, Ryan.
2 down here in the top of the 6th. That's the 6K for Banks. And now up to the plate, it's Ryan Brome, coming off that outstanding rocket of a throw to home plate in the last inning. Banks the first pitch. Just low, sort of knee-high once more, but he doesn't get the call from Constantine Bartlett. The 1-0. That time he gets it. Sort of a similar location as the first pitch, but a good frame right there from Topping to lift it up in the zone. Banks heaves, another bouncer. Now, Chase Banks, I wonder if he was named after the actual bank, Chase, or is that just a coincidence of his name? I have to talk to him about why his parents named him Chase, if it just worked out perfectly with the company, as that one's a ground ball and up the middle for a base hit. Brome, a good whack of the bat. That's his second hit of the day.
Right fielder, number 10, Joey Donnelly.
So a 2-out single, and that brings up Joey Donnelly, who's 0 for 1, but scored a run, unearned run, back in the 3rd. Scored off the RBI single from Tyson Corio. That's the only run scored here today. It's been a pitcher's duel between Banks and Perkins. That's a chopper over to Hildy, scoops it up, and the easy toss to Wood at second to end the 6th. Another solid frame for Chase Banks, who continues to deal and keep the Crawdads left stranded. They leave Brome stranded, and it's still 1-0. Banks once more keeping the Mudcats in it, but can the offense do something here? We'll see coming up here on the Mudcats Streaming Network, heading to the bottom of the 6th. Welcome back here at Vanden High School, Fairfield, California. And a new pitcher on for Walnut Creek. It's Colson Abel. The first pitch to Chase Hildy, taken for a strike on the low outside corner. Abel relieves Mark Perkins, a stellar 5 innings for him. The pitch, fastball inside, close to the knees of Hildy for a ball. Abel is sophomore lefty out of Texas Tech, a native of Kerrville, Texas. Fires, swing and a miss from Hildy, a fastball in the dirt. On the season, Abel making his 12th appearance this summer. That leads the team. He's got 19 1/3 innings pitched and a 6.05 ERA to his name. The 1-2 in the dirt, and it hits off the leg of Hildy. It bounced in front of home plate, and it bounced on the knee, the lower leg of Hildy.
Next up for the Mudcats, the shortstop, number 12, Jillen.
So the second hit by pitch of this ball game for the Mudcats to get a leadoff runner on base. Let's see if they can do something here with Jared Wood now. Wood is 0 for 2. Couple ground balls in the infield for him. The first pitch from Abel. Fastball in there for a strike on the outer half. So the numbers show you they can get to Abel on the season. 13 earned runs, 17 walks. The pitch to Wood. Fastball high and away. And that ends the day for Mark Perkins. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits given up, but no earned runs, had only 2 walks, and had 5 Ks. A great day for him. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, a 7.17 ERA. He's been up and down this season. Abel throws back, and Hildy is back in time at first. But now, the onus is on Colson Abel to continue and pick up where Perkins left off. The 1-1 fouled just away. Almost a foul tip into the glove of Tajero, but it just falls in the grass, popped out of the glove. One and 2. Here to the second batter, Jared Wood. Abel fires. Breaking ball just misses inside. The Walnut Creek dugout doesn't like the call from Constantine Bartlett. A beautiful slurve by the southpaw. He smiles it off, doesn't get the call. 2-2. It evens it up. The pitch, breaking ball, and Wood lays off. Another slurve. That one landed near the shoes of Wood. In a doubleheader versus the Potters, he went 1 for 2. A double down the line in game 2 to end that no-hitter, but he's hitless here today. The pitch, fastball, low and away, ball 4. And the Mudcats bringing that energy from the dugout. Positive sight. It's first and second with nobody out. Despite not being able to get a run home, they've had their chances against Mark Perkins. They haven't been discouraged. They've brought the positivity. The energy has continued on. They're so close to bringing it home. Can they do it here with Noah Garcia? Garcia is 0 for 1 last time up. Reached with a walk, but was caught stealing third. He was caught in between the base paths and was forced to go over to third base. The first pitch, low. Garcia showed bunt, but laid off for a first pitch ball. First and second. Nobody out. Here in the top of the 6. Abel steps off the rubber as he was keeping an eye on Hildy. Now the pitch. Low and away. Garcia once again showed bunt, but he laid off. They're keeping a good eye on these pitches from Colson Abel. Trying to keep the line moving. Garcia squats down, shows bunt once more. Lays off again as that breaking ball wails in for a strike. A 2-1 count now with nobody out. Abel fires. Showed bunt. That time he laid it down. Right back up to Abel, who retires Garcia at first. But once more, the energy is still there as they advance the runners. Garcia does his job. A good bunt laid down right there. He tempted it quite a few times and finally put it down in front of Abel. The 1-3 put out makes it 1 out. And now second and third with Jaden Jones up to the plate. And now, wait a second. Was it an intentional walk? We wait for the official call. And it was an intentional walk. I don't know if you could hear me yelling over to my scorekeeper up to my right, Ben Crombie, but I was asking for confirmation, and it was an intentional walk. So they do get the force out at all 3 bases. That's what Brant Cummings is trying to do. It's bases loaded, and now Trey Topping is up to the plate. The first pitch, low for a ball. The Mudcat dugout rallying here. They say, you loaded up for Trey Topping? Topping wants to make him pay and show that was the wrong move. The 1-0. Fastball catches the outer half for a strike. Topping is 0 for 2 today. 2 groundouts in the infield. I mentioned the slump he's been in. Needs to break it here. Another great opportunity for the Mudcats. The pitch. Swung on right side, but that'll be foul. Hildy at third, Wood at second, and Jones on at first after the intentional walk. 1 out. They just need a fly ball into the outfield to bring home a run and tie this ball game up. The pitch. Swung on, fly ball, out in right field, and that gets down in the gap. Hildy comes home to score. Wood is waved home. The throw in, cut off. Now Jaden Jones charging home, and he scores. Trey Topping makes him pay. That's what we've been waiting to see. Trey Topping breaks out of that cold spell. Topping tops it off. It's 3-1 Mudcats. All the momentum and the energy on their side. He cleared the bases. Now the pitch to Jackson Bates. Fastball low and inside. And so you load him up. Brant Cummings wanted that force out at all 3 bases, but Topping, finally some good contact by him, and he makes him pay. The pitch, breaking ball, loops in for a strike to Bates, who's 0 for 2. That one was sent all the way to the wall, and it gave Jaden Jones, the speedster, enough time to score from first to clear the bases. Abel has to settle down for the Crawdads. The pitch. Breaking ball just catches the low inside corner for a strike. "3-1 the score. Mudcats were patient with it. They took their time trying to find the big hit. They didn't get discouraged. See if they can keep it going here. There's only one out in the inning. The pitch. Breaking ball just on the outer half. Abel doesn't get the call. Ball 2. Abel comes set, fires. Another breaking ball, and he does get the call. Bates confused there, but it is strike 3. So he is retired.
Next on for the Mudcats, the left fielder, number 40, Michael Benavides.
So Abel comes right back and gets the strikeout looking on Bates, his 3rd K of the day. It brings up now Michael Benavides up to the plate. Trying to keep it going here for the Mudcats with 2 outs. Topping on at second base after the big double to right center. Abel, the first offering, in the dirt. Benavides today, he's 0 for 2. Reached back in the 3rd on a hit by pitch. But was left stranded at third base trying to get home, but he was called off by Jared Carr. We thought that might have been a costly move, but it turns out it wasn't, as the Mudcats have been patient. Abel steps off the rubber looking over at Topping. Topping, not really a stolen base threat on there, doesn't bring much speed. Abel, the pitch, swung on, lined, but foul. Third base side. 1-1 the count here with 2 outs in the inning. In a must-win game, the Mudcats got the big-time hit. The pitch, breaking ball sails outside. Two 2-1 the count here to Benavides, the junior out of Chico State, trying to extend the inning on Abel. The pitch, fastball flared in shallow left, and it'll be caught by Ryan Brome to end the inning. But the Solano Mudcats were patient. They got the big hit they needed in this must-win game versus the Crawdads. A 3 RBI double from Trey Topping, and it's 3-1 Mudcats heading to the top of the 7th here on the Mudcat Streaming Network. The Crawdads took the first punch here in this ball game, but the Mudcats showing fight. They punched back in the bottom of the sixth. A 3 RBI double by Trey Topping to make it 3-1 in this ball game. Now Chase Banks still on the mound to lead off this top of the seventh. The excuse me swing down the line, but foul by Cameron Calvillo to start things off. And so the Mudcats were very patient, weren't getting discouraged. And now it's up to the Crawdads. Can they show fight offensively? They scored that lone run back in the third, but Chase Banks has been dominant since. The 0-1. Fastball low and inside. Calvillo is 0 for 2 today. A strikeout swinging and a fly out to left. 1-1 on the way. Driven in shallow left and over the head of Jared Wood for a base hit. And so Calvillo gets his first hit as a Crawdad in his second game for the team to start things off here in the top of the seventh. But Banks still a low pitch count. He's up to 80 pitches in this ball game here in the seventh, and the Mudcats are low on arms. So Jared Carr, acting head coach, is going to ride him as long as he can. Zach Tajero, now the batter. Throw back to first, not in time. Tajero is 1 for 2. Singled back in the third for his lone hit. The first pitch, fastball misses high and outside. Tajero took his freshman season at San Mateo Community College, went 15 games there, only 1 hit, 2 RBIs, and 5 walks. The pitch, flied in shallow center field, and Jared Wood makes the catch just on the edge of the grass. Only had to take a couple steps there to retire Tajero. So 1 down now in the inning. Up to the plate, it's the leadoff man, Ryan Ellis. Ellis made that CCL showcase game, 1 of 6 Crawdads. He's 1 for 3, singled last time up. Banks another throw back to first, and Calvillo is back in time. It's a duel between Ellis and DeSalle for the CCL lead in stolen bases. Last time up, Ellis singled and stole a bag to get to number 20 on the season. Swings and misses right through that breaking ball. A first pitch strike. That's what Banks does 76% of the time. Elite stuff this summer. Can he keep it going here? Pickoff move once more. And Garcia almost got him with the tag. A wide grin by the first baseman. They've come close a couple times in getting that pickoff move. The 0-1. Fastball. Tails outside. One the count, 1 out. Banks fires. Fastball in there for a strike on the outer half. He doesn't have crazy, nasty stuff on the heater, just mid-80s on that fastball, but his stuff is consistent. Gets guys to chase and miss. You don't have to have a full-on electric fastball to be a dominant pitcher. And Banks is that type of guy. He's got a great curveball, 12-6 action. And just solid consistently as a lined ground ball to Hildy. To Wood for 1. To first for 2. Chase Banks No one's getting past him. They turn 2 for the second straight inning to end the top of the 7th. Mudcats still leading 3-1 here on the Mudcats streaming network. Welcome back here at Vanden High School, where the Mudcats lead at 3-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Kenny DeSell, he's up to the plate, still facing Colson Abel on the mound. DeSell is 3 for 3 with 3 singles. Can he keep it going here? The first pitch misses high for a ball. DeSell against the West Coast Kings a few games ago went 4 for 6 for his best game this season, as that one's bounced in the dirt. Went 4 for 6, had 5 RBIs in that game. Once again, he's seeing the ball really well, like he's done all season, but he's trying to stay perfect here. Colson Abel out of Texas Tech, trying to bounce back after giving those 3 runs in the last inning. Fastball misses inside near the shoes of DeSell. 3-0 the count. The pitch inside catches the high corner for a strike. Abel kicks and deals. Fastball high and away. And DeSell a leadoff walk.
Next up, the designated hitter number 10.
Like I said, seeing the ball really well today. Abel couldn't find the zone there. And so DeSell is still perfect today. Brant Cummings now coming in from the dugout and signals over to the umpire, shakes Colson Abel's hand. As Abel walks back, his day is done. And so we'll see a pitching change here. A new arm comes out for the Crawdads, trying to settle down. It wasn't a kind relief appearance for Abel. Went one inning, only 1 hit, but it was a costly hit, as the 3 RBI double by Trey Topping in the last frame. Also struggled with command with 3 walks, had 1 strikeout. And now Brant Cummings walks back to the dugout with a new arm for the Crawdads. As he settles in, we'll step aside for a moment here on the Mudcats streaming network. Welcome back as we stepped aside for a moment after a pitching change. It's Ben Clark now on the mound relieving Colson Abel. Clark in his 10th appearance now. He's pitched in 13.2 innings with a 5.26 ERA. He's given up 7 walks and 8 earned runs. He'll face Cole Santander with DeSalle on at first after the leadoff walk. Santander is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. DeSalle takes off. The throw, not in time. Give him another. DeSalle, the speedster.
Now pitching for the Crawdads.
And he's tied once again for first with Ryan Ellis for the league leading 20 stolen bases now. They continue to battle it out. That's the second stolen base here today for DeSalle. Possibly the best speed in the entire California Collegiate League. He's only been caught stealing 3 times this summer. Clark now comes set. The pitch to Santander. Swung on high, pop-up in shallow center field. Calvillo trying to locate it, and it drops down for a base hit. Calvillo was nowhere near close of it. He was off to center field, but it dropped on the edge of the grass off to his right side in left field. The left fielder Ryan Brome had to come all the way in and field that ball. Just could not see it in the sun. Where he was standing, he was in the shade. I don't know if that affected him, but Santander now on for his 3rd single of the ball game. It's 1st and 3rd, and Chase Hildy up to the plate, a chance to do even more damage. Clark fires. Fastball misses outside. The redshirt freshman from Dixie State has to make up some ground here after the mistake from his defense. The 1-0 to Hildy. Fouled off just barely. As that fastball was low and outside. Hildy spoils the pitch. 1-1 the count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Clark fires. Breaking ball blocked in the dirt by Tajero. Another dangerous situation right there. 2-1 the count. Nobody out. Clark comes set. Deals. Swing and a miss. Fastball that Hildy whiffs at to make it 2-2. He's 0 for 1 today, but he's reached twice with a walk and a hit by pitch, and also scored a run. The 2-2, just high for a ball. Clark dangles the arm, comes set from the stretch. 2-2 on the way. Swung on high, pop-up and foul ground. Ryan Ellis trying to locate it, and it'll be Calvillo coming in to make the catch. Now DeSalle tagging up, and it's 4-1. Calvillo, the shortstop, ran all the way over and foul ground in that left side. It was off your screen, but he made the catch as he was stumbling and gave plenty of time for Kenny DeSalle to tag up. Hildy didn't have to do a ton there with nobody out, and he does get the run home to make it 4-1, and now Jared Wood up to the plate. The pitch, he shows bunt, it's in the air, it drops down, rolls on the line, fair ball! Oh my goodness! You gotta be kidding me! That one spun. It was in the air. Drifting foul. But it spun and stayed on the line. What are the odds? That's the right move by Tajero and Clark to let that one go foul. But it just stayed on the line. It's first and second now, with Noah Garcia, the big lefty, up to the plate. The pitch in the dirt, but blocked by Tajero to keep the runners at their bases. Mudcats getting some fortunate luck here to keep the inning going. It's a 1-0 count to Garcia with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Clark, a deep breath, fires, sliced, a hard hit ball by Garcia, but it goes out of play left side. So like I said, you couldn't see it as it was off to your screen, but Kenny DeSalle did come home to score off the sacrifice fly. Hildy flying out in foul ground for DeSalle to come home and score. One count here to Garcia. The pitch in the dirt, and that time it gets away, and both runners advance a base. Tajero could only keep it in front for so long. Clark has been wild in relief. Just hasn't been the same for the Crawdads since Mark Perkins left the game. The relievers haven't been able to pick up where he left off. It's second and third now with 1 out. After the wild pitch, the 2-1 fouled off left side. It's a 2-2 count with 1 out. Garcia is 0 for 2. Reached back in the 4th with a walk. Clark fires, breaking ball, fishing, and drop third strike, so the throw over to first in time by Tajero. Garcia extended the bat low in the dirt and came up with all air. So Clark does finally get an out here on his own doing. His first strikeout, and it brings up Jaden Jones now up to the plate. Jones got intentionally walk and was scored home in the last frame. The pitch swung on but fouled off left side. Like I said coming into this ball game, this is really a must-win for the Mudcats. They're a half game back of the Crawdads for third place, and they're a game and a half of second where they need to be to make the playoffs. And the Lincoln Potters, they're in second place. They're playing right now against the Healdsburg Prune Packers. They're leading 2-0 early on in that ball game. The pitch, breaking ball, drops in low for a ball. And so while the Mudcats are in a good spot here, they would love to place even more runs and continue to build that cushion, but they would still love the Potters to lose to the Prune Packers to really make up some ground in the standings. The 1-1, chopped, third base side, fielded and gloved. The throw got him at first to end the inning. It was Ryan Ellis over to Brian Giroff. And finally, the inning is over. But the Mudcats once more played a run to make it 4-1. The sacrifice fly by Chase Hildy brought home Kenny DeSalle to extend their lead. They're now up 4-1, heading to the top of the 8th. And guess who's out trying to seek more blood? It's Chase Banks as we step aside.
and Jason Coria.
Welcome back here at Vanden High School. My name is Jonah Krell. Here in the top of the 8th as Chase Banks still on the mound. He'll face Tyson Corio to start things off. The first pitch just high for a ball. He's still got a great pitch count. He's up to 86 now as that one's chopped foul, first base side. If this can be a quick frame, who knows? Maybe you can go the distance, but this is definitely a great sight. The longest Chase Banks has gone this season in a game. The pitch misses outside. Corio is 2 for 2, and he's reached base each time up. 2 singles, an RBI, and a walk. The pitch, low for a ball. It's now 3-1. Banks comes set from the windup. Rock step, fires, fastball, misses outside. Ball 4, and that's just the second walk of this ball game for Chase Banks. That's how good he's been. So the leadoff man reaches, and it brings up Coleman Schmidt now.
Next up, center fielder number 27, Coleman Schmidt.
Schmidt in this ball game, he's 0 for 3. It's been a struggle for him as of late. At once was playing like the best guy in the CCL, but now it's in a slump. A throwback to first not in time. Still made the All-Star game with his numbers. But like I said, he's tailing off just as the whole team is in this latter half. He slaps one left field and down for a base hit, just as I was talking bad about him. All the way to the wall. And Corio stops at third. So the double by Coleman Schmidt. And now all of a sudden, the tying run is at the plate with Kavares Tears. Jared Carr out from the dugout to talk things over with his ace. And that'll be it. Not even words discussed. Banks just hands the ball off to Carr. And a new man on the bump for the Mudcats to try to get out of the jam. It'll be Drew Stapleton, the redshirt freshman from San Jose State. As he gets warmed up, we'll step aside with it being second and third for the Crawdads. A good scoring opportunity late in this ball game. The new man on the bump relieving Chase Banks, a tough act to follow. It's Drew Stapleton, the redshirt freshman from San Jose State. And he's got a job to do with second and third and the tying run at the plate. It's Kavara's Tears. So Stapleton needs to come up big and clean Banks' mess up in this eighth. They tried to go with him as long as they could, as the Mudcats are short on arms. But Banks could only go so far. Tears so far in this ball game, he's 0 for 3. The first pitch from Stapleton, just low, middle of the plate for a ball. Stapleton on the year, a 5.75 ERA, 5.60 ERA, with 26 strikeouts and 17 walks, as well as 22 earned runs. The 1-0 misses on the outer half. We've seen him deliver at times, but it's been a little bit of a inconsistent goings for him this season. At one point, his best outing, a 7-inning performance. The 2-0, slapped, hard hit ball out in right field. Bates going back, but he makes the catch. And tagging up to score is Tyson Corio. A really hard hit ball right there by Tears.
Next up,
but it's just a sac fly. They do inch a little bit closer here. That's just the first out of this inning to make it 4-2. Brian DeRoff now in the box, and Topping wants to have some words with Stapleton. That was a quick conversation as Topping comes back home. Wonder what was said there. DeRoff, he's 0 for 3. The first pitch. And Benavides makes the catch as that ball was lined into left field. But Coleman Schmidt comes home to score. Another sac fly by the Crawdads.
Next up, left fielder, number 11, Ryan Brome.
So they continue to get a little bit closer, creeping up now. It's 4-3 in the ball game. But now the bases are cleared with 2 outs. Crawdads are doing their job. They're getting the runners home, but it's not the big hit they might have wanted. Now Ryan Brome, he's a big hitter, leads the team with a .380 average. First pitch bounced in the dirt. Having another good day is Brome. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Like I was saying earlier, Stapleton's best outing, a 7-inning performance against the Prune Packers. That was a 7-inning ball game in a doubleheader, but that game went extras, and the Mudcats eventually won. The 1-0 pitch misses wildly outside. In his last outing was against these Crawdads back on July 22nd in a 4-3 win. He went 5 innings pitched, gave up 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, and he was relieved by Chase Banks. Now it's a role reversal. It's the fastball cannot catch the outer edge. Another ball here makes it 3-0 to Brome. At times he's struggled with command, third most on the team with walks, and tied for second in hit by pitches. The pitch, that time it's a strike. Gets the call from Constantine Bartlett on the outer half. 3-1. Following 2 sac flies from Kavaris Tears and Brian DeRoff, the bases are clear now to Ryan Brome. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss to make it full. Stapleton dangles the arm looking for the sign from Topping. The tall righty comes set, delivers. That's another fly ball deep in left field. Benavides going back, and it bounces. One hops the wall. Brome over to second base, and he'll stop there. the Crawdads are punching back. Brome sliced that off the bat,
Right fielder, number 10, Joey.
and Benavides could not find it in the sun. His location on the ball was not well as it bounced off to his right side and behind him up against the wall.
Here you go, Drew. Leave him there.
Still 2 outs in the inning. Brome is now 3 for 4, a good day for him. And up to the plate, it's Joey Donnelly. Can he come back here and finish the inning? The first offering misses low for a ball. Donnelly is 0 for 2. Last time up, a fielder's choice, but it ended the inning. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. That one had some late break on it. 1-1 count with 2 outs. Stapleton, he's flashed some good stuff here. Delivers. Another whacked ball out in left field. It bounces in front of Benavides. Rounding home is Brome, but he gets held off. Now the tap back to third, and he's back in time, barely. He was almost home, but was held up by the third base coach, and he barely got back in time. Wood tried to tap on the base and retire him, but no success there. So they keep it going. The danger continues. It's 1st and 3rd now. Brome was very tempted to come home there after the single from Donnelly. Crawdads making late noise. Stapleton on relief. He got 2 quick outs on 2 sac flies. Now needs to finish the job against Cameron Calvillo. Calvillo is 1 for 3 with a single his last time up. And just his second game as a Crawdad. Stapleton, the throw back to first, not in time. The first offering. Slapped. Third base. Fielded by Jones. The throw to first. In time.
There we go.
Well, that was a scare. I'll say so. It's for Stapleton strands the 2 runners, and the Mudcats hold on to their lead. Crawdads get 2 sac flies to bring in 2, but that's all. Stapleton takes care of the rest to end the top of the 8th. Mudcats still hanging on by a thread, heading to the bottom half. It looked like the Mudcats had a comfortable lead, up 4-1, entering the top of the 8th with their ace, Chase Banks, on the mound. But the Crawdads aren't done yet. They tacked on 2 runs off of Drew Stapleton, and they've cut it down to 4-3. And the Mudcats now need to do some more work offensively to give themselves some insurance, with Trey Topping up at the plate, taking that first pitch outside for a ball in the dirt from Ben Clark, on for his second inning. The second pitch misses on a breaking ball inside. 2-0 the count. Topping is 1 for 3. Came up with that big 3 RBI double back in the 6th. The pitch misses low in the dirt. 3-0 the count. I have Sean Skiebeck over to my right saying green light. Let's see it. And he doesn't get the green light as that ball's high and inside, called strike. Skiebeck over to my right. He's the ultimate cheerleader, the PA announcer here at Vanton. As that one's in the dirt. Ball 4. Another leadoff walk for the Mudcats. That's the second straight inning with a leadoff walk. And 3rd overall. It's been 4 straight innings where the leadoff man has gotten on base for the Mudcats. 3 of the times being walks, the other time being a hit by pitch. Crawdads have not been able to get off to a good start in these innings. The pitch to Jackson Bates, swing and a miss on a high fastball. Bates is 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts. Can he avoid the golden sombrero? He did that back on July 22nd against these Crawdads in that 4-3 win. The pitch misses outside on a breaking ball. Nobody out with Trey Topping at first. On a windy evening here in Vanton. The pitch, and it hits Bates. And that's got to sting. Landed on the wrist. He winces for a moment, but now sprints over to first.
Number 40, the left fielder, Michael Benavides.
So if Bates can't get the big hit, at least he gets on base on the hit by pitch. Takes one on the wrist, but hopefully he's okay. First and second, nobody out with Michael Benavides now up to the plate. The leadoff man is 1 for 4, 0 for 3 actually, with a hit by pitch. The pitch fouled off to the backstop. With first and second, nobody out, another big chance for the Mudcats to get some runs home and give them a little bit more cushion heading to the last frame of this ball game. A must-win affair here at Vanton against the Crawdads, a half game in front of them in the standings. The pitch slapped up the middle, base hit. Topping over to third base, and he'll get held up by Jared Carr. It's bases loaded now. Benavides comes through in the leadoff spot.
Next up for the Mudcats, the center fielder.
We all know Topping doesn't have the speed there as he was chugging along over to third. That time, Jared Carr, it's for sure the right move to hold him up, as that was just an easy grounder into shallow center field. Coleman Schmidt could have easily made the throw in at home. So it's bases loaded, a mound visit with Brant Cummings now talking things over with Ben Clark. Since Mark Perkins exited this ball game, it's been a struggle for these Crawdad relievers. Quick mound visit right there. And now Clark back on the mound trying to calm things down. Facing Kenny DeSalle. DeSalle is 3 for 3 with 3 singles, also has a walk. Another stellar day for him. The pitch. Slapped high in the air in left field. Going back of the wall. See ya! Swimming with the fishes. Grand slam, Kenny DeSalle. An emphatic stomp at home plate. DeSalle, perhaps his best day in his life. He's 4 for 4 with 3 singles and a grand slam. It's 8-3 in this ball game. What are we seeing right now? Now the pitch to Cole Santander, breaking ball low. Completely opens up this ball game. 8-3. DeSalle is second bomb this season. The first pitch misses low. Actually, that was the second pitch, but my mind is all over the place from what we just saw from Kenny DeSalle. 2-0 the count here to Santander. Ben Clark trying to settle down somehow. The pitch, fly ball, right side in foul ground, drifting, and over there to make the catch will be Brian Zaroff. So finally 1 out here in the inning.
Next up for the Mudcats is the second baseman, number 2, Chase Clancy.
It's been that type of day for the Crawdads relievers, and Ben Clark on the blunt end of it. Can he try to settle down once more? The first pitch to Hildy, low in the dirt. That's got to be the most deflating feeling. You come all the way back, tack on 2 runs in the top of the 8th, only to give up a grand slam, and it's now 8-3, and a must-win game for the Crawdads, as that pitch, a fastball, misses outside. They needed this win. They're on a 4-game skid at the moment. The Crawdads hanging on in 3rd place, but the Mudcats right past them, right behind them, looking to bounce them in the standings. The 2-1, high on a fastball. I don't know how that sounded on your end, but I might need some hot tea after that home run by Kenny DeSalle. The pitch, ground ball right side, scooped up by Corio. The toss over to first in time. 2 down now in the inning.
Next up is the shortstop, number 12, Jared Wood.
Now up to the plate, it's Jared Wood. Wood today is 1 for 3 with a single. Also got on with a walk and scored a run. First pitch, did he go around? Yes, he did, for a strike. Two outs here in the bottom of the 8th. The 0-1 from Clark, breaking ball, loops in a beauty for a strike. 0-2, Clark just trying to get out of this inning after the grand slam by Kenny DeSalle. The pitch, swung on, high fly ball, left field, and Ryan Brome is under it, makes the catch to end the bottom of the 8th. But the Mudcats add to their lead. They get the cushion they desperately needed with the Crawdads punching back. And perhaps that's the knockout punch. The grand slam from Kenny DeSalle. It's 8-3 in this ball game, and Drew Stapleton back on the bump, trying to close things out, heading to the top of the 9th on the Mudcats streaming network. Welcome back here on the Mudcats streaming network, top of the ninth. And Drew Stapleton
Top in the top of the ninth inning.
trying to close things out for the Mudcats.
Tajera.
It'll be Zach Tajero in the 9 spot to start things off. Stapleton, the first offering, fastball in there for a strike high in the zone. So it'll be 9, 1, and 2 in the Crawdads batting order. Trying to start a rally after they did get a rally going in the top of the 8th. The pitch misses low. They got 2 runs on Drew Stapleton on sac flies in the top of the 8th to inch closer. They had first and third with 2 outs, but they couldn't get that big hit to tie it up and take the lead as the fastball misses outside. And in the bottom of the 8th, Kenny DeSalle came through clutch with a grand slam to make it 8-3 in this ball game. And so now a big deficit for the Crawdads to overcome. Can they do it? That's the question. It's a 3-1 count here to Zach Tajero, who's 1 for 3 on the day with a single. The pitch, check swing. He didn't go around, but it was on the outside half for a strike. 3-2 the count. Stapleton comes set. The payoff pitch.
Oh, yeah.
Just high and in. Ball 4. Really good pitch right there from Drew Stapleton, trying to jam Tajero, and it did, but it was just too inside.
For the Crawdads, third baseman number 2, Ryan Ellis.
And so the leadoff man reaches to start things off, just what you want if you're Walnut Creek, because Ryan Ellis is up to the plate, one of their go-to hitters. He's 1 for 4 on the day, not his best, but he can come through when you need him. Batting .360 on the year. The pitch misses outside on a tailing breaking ball. It's been a rough couple games for Walnut Creek on a 4-game losing skid. Should have won yesterday versus the Prune Packers as the fastball in there for a strike. They were up 7-2 on the CCL North leading Prune Packers. They should have won that ball game, but the Prune Packers came alive on Sunday in the 8th inning off the Crawdads' errors and wild play. As that one skied left side, Topping trying to locate that ball near the dugout, but it'll get out of play over the Crawdads' dugout on the left side. But as I was saying, in that loss to Healdsburg, it was a sloppy play by the Crawdads. 3 errors down the stretch, 2 pass balls, and a wild pitch in the last 3 innings for the Prune Packers to come back and win that game. Today, they haven't been as sloppy, but still the Mudcats have been able to get to their pitchers besides Mark Perkins. Now the 1-2 to Ellis. Swung on a ground ball into right field for a base hit. And Tajero stops at second base. So the first 2 runners reach. The single by Ryan Ellis makes it first and second now. Tyson Corio, he's having a great day today. Can he keep it going? 2 singles, 2 walks, an RBI, and a run scored for the second baseman. Out of Cal Poly Slow, trying to keep it going with nobody out. The pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike. And that's a good sight for Stapleton, as he throws that first pitch strike pretty often, 76.8% of the time, and that's second on the team behind Chase Banks. Needs to show it here and get some outs going, get some confidence brewing. The 0-1, breaking ball sails outside. 1-1 the count. Nobody out. Tajero is at second, and Ellis is at first. Stapleton fires. Check swing on the ball in the dirt. He went around. A sinker from Stapleton. And Corio couldn't hold up the bat. So it's 1-2, the count now. Stapleton chomping on that gum. Come set. The 1-2 bounced in the dirt, but a good block by Trey Topping. That's what we know him for. The great defense this entire summer. In his last game, had two costly pass balls, with runs coming home to score. But today it's been much better defensively for him. Now the 2-2. Just outside. Another tailing breaking ball that Stapleton is trying to locate on that high outside corner. And Topping, he's seen enough. Comes sprinting out on the mound to talk things over with Stapleton. One of those vocal leaders that will speak his mind whenever he so pleases. The spark plug, the heartbeat of this Mudcats team behind the dish. That's what Ryan Adams calls him, the heart of this team. Trying to calm things down with Stapleton. It's a full count with nobody out. Mudcats are leading comfortably, but they cannot mess around here and play with their food. The payoff pitch to Corio. Low on a fastball. Ball 4. And its bases loaded. Struggles continue here for Stapleton.
Next up,
So Topping tried to calm him down and find that right pitch to throw, but he couldn't locate. And like I said earlier, he struggled on the season with command. Has to somehow find the zone and settle down. Once he gets that first out, he can build that confidence, but he needs to get it here, facing Coleman Schmidt. The first pitch, in there for a strike on a cutter. Schmidt is 0 for 3, 1 for 4 actually, with a double in the top of the 8th. The 0-1 from Stapleton. Swung on, just fouled away. The backstop. Finally, he's ahead in a count here to the Crawdads. 0-2 with nobody out. Schmidt, one of the best hitters on this Crawdads team, can come through here with a big time knock. It's bases loaded and nobody out. The pitch swung on but fouled right back into the fencing. It's been a windy day here at Vanden High School. Papers flying around. Guys have mislocated the ball in the outfield. We're getting set. The 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball. Swung on. In right field. Bates coming in. Makes the catch. Now Tajero thought about tagging up, but he stays put at third base.
Way to get it, kid!
The ideal scenario for the Mudcats there. No runs come home to score, as that one was in shallow right, not that deep, and Bates makes the catch. A good throw in from right.
next up, the designated
Finally, Stapleton gets that one out, and maybe that can get the monkey off his back.
First time I've been cool ever in this town.
Now up to the plate, it's Kavaris Tears. Tears, his last time up, hit a sac fly to center field to score Tyson Corio. That one was sent deep to right field, but not deep enough.
Good job, Trey.
But still, he's shown some power this summer. Tiers has 4 homers. He can come through with bases loaded and 1 out. The first pitch misses outside.
Here we go now.
Again, Stapleton not doing what he's done all season, which is getting ahead early in counts with that first pitch strike. The 1-0. Chopped foul, first base side. Tiers, we all know the talent he brings coming from Tennessee, one of the best programs in all of college baseball. Was heavily recruited out of high school, a native of Lewisburg, Tennessee. Didn't see any time this past season. He hasn't put up great numbers this summer for the Crawdads, but needs to come up with something. That one's popped in shallow left, but that'll get out of play. Left side.
Go, State.
1-2 the count. 1 out. Here in the top of the 9th. Stapleton trying to close out a crucial win. He comes set. The big righty fires. Fastball, another one swung on and fouled back. And our camera is suffering the consequences. As you can see, it's a little bit twisted off to the right now. We apologize for that. But you can still see most of the field. The 1-2 in the dirt, but blocked by Trey Topping. Another routine play for Topping to make, and he comes through right there. He's been good at blocking all summer long. And Stapleton, who's known to be a little wild here and there, that's what you need to do. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Tiers went fishing on a breaking ball in the dirt.
Next up, first base.
2 down in the inning. Crawdads started off this inning with bases loaded, but they're now down to their last out. Stapleton, a calm presence. He faces Brian DeRoff now. The pitch, in there for a strike. Low in the zone. 0-1 the count. Two outs, bases loaded. He fires. Just chopped foul at home plate. To make it 0-2, Crawdads down to their last strike. If the Mudcats win, they jump the Crawdads to get into 3rd place in the standings. They would still be behind for 2nd to the Lincoln Potters, who are up 3-0 on the Prune Packers currently. But regardless, they'd still jump up in the standings. The 0-2, swung on, ground ball to Jared Wood at short. Toss over to Hildy covering second, and the Mudcats win it. Stapleton allows the bases to get loaded up, but it doesn't matter. The Mudcats win it 8-3. It wasn't the best start to this ball game offensively, as the Mudcats had their opportunities against Mark Perkins, but they couldn't come up with a big hit. They struggled to get that first run across, but once Perkins exited this ball game and Colson Abel led off the sixth, the bats came loose. Trey Topping, a 3 RBI double to get the scoring going in that sixth. They intentionally walked Jaden Jones to load up the bases, and Topping made him pay. That started things off, and then Kenny DeSell just absolutely nuked the ball to left field in the bottom of the eighth to give the Mudcats the cushion they needed after the Crawdads kept creeping back in this ball game. And the Mudcats win the rock fight. Chase Banks on the mound. He was electric once more. 7 innings, 3 runs came home to score, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 5 Ks. Once more, a great day for him. One of the aces on this Mudcat squad came up big when they were short on arms. And so the Mudcats get a big win, and they will jump up into 3rd place in the CCL standings, bumping Walnut Creek, who continues to slide late in this season. They've now lost 5 straight games at the worst time. And the Mudcats will inch up. How many games will they be behind the Potters? They'd be 1.5 games behind of the Lincoln Potters for 2nd place. They're right there, folks. They just need a couple bounces to go their way, and they could be in the playoffs. Just 5 games left in this season. What an exciting final stretch this should be. We want to thank you for joining us here on the Mudcat Streaming Network. Another fun day of baseball here at Vanden High School. My name is Jonah Crow, signing off. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.